Hello. So in this video I will be describing how to so in the first video I described to you the Holy Grails, and one of those Holy Grails was eating the leaf that has been flashed with radiated light once a day. Well, why? What is one of the reasons why you eat the leaf flashed that has been flashed in radiated light? Why do you eat it? And the reason is because one of the reasons is it helps you get to God's castle. So in this video, I'll be describing everything that I know about how to get to God's castle. So so there's steps to this, and I don't know all of them yet. I know generally what you're supposed to do. So the first step is you have to take a leaf from outside. You have to take it in a dark room, right? You need to take a radiated light, flash it on it repetitively, on and off, on and off, on and off, flash it on it, on and off, right? And when you do it enough, when you do this thing enough, well, really, you only need to do it like flash it like technically like 2 to 3 times, but you can do it like 10 or 40 times, however many times you want. But anyways, you flash the light on it. Now the leaf is activated. You eat it. You do that for 122 days, 1/3 of the year. The number 3 numerology is connected to the number of the leaf. So 1/3 of the year you need to do it. 1/3 of the year you need to do it. Which is 122 days just about. And once you complete that, what actually will happen in your mind, scientifically, I believe, is your mind is normally made of calcite crystals. I read that from a scientific paper that they found calcite crystals in the human brain. So in the pineal gland. So I'm guessing it's calcite because so when you start the leaves, you'll have calcite in your pineal gland, which is, and by the way, hopefully I'll explain more about that in another video, but the crystals in your brain, your mind is not a functioning of your brain. Your mind is a functioning of the crystals at the center of your pineal gland. That is the functioning of your mind in your will. Your brain, okay, I'll tell you all about that in another video, maybe a short video, but your mind is not your brain. But anyways, the leaf, eating the leaf for 122 days slowly changes your calcite mind crystals over to what I think is DMT. So it dissolves out, your pineal gland's ability to dissolve out the calcite and build up the DMT crystals. And by the 122nd day, your crystals will be completely transferred over to DMT. And basically, that's the first step. Once you have the first step, your DMT crystals will show you the way. It's almost like a guide, a book, it's almost like a guide in your mind that is helping you figure things out. And once you do that, you'll figure out, or well, I'm telling you now, you have to make what is called a black and yellow, or what is a black and yellow sign, or a honeybee sign. And basically what you do is, you take a sign, and you can draw stripes on it, you can do whatever you want, just make sure it has black and yellow. And a certain symbol with black and yellow. So the symbol is one color and the background's another. So the symbol is one color, black or yellow, and the background is another color, black and yellow, or yellow. So basically, what you do is you create this honeybee sign, and the most basic example, if you want more specific examples, and if you try it and something else happened, then make sure you remember exactly what they say and comment it in this video, and I'll tell you the answer, how it works, because it's actually 5 levels to this that I don't know if I remember right now. It's in my notebook, but anyways, so there is you make a honeybee sign or a black and yellow sign, and what you do is you go outside, right? So because what you're trying to do is you're trying to make it into the magical world, because in the magical world, where the magical world is centered, in that same town is God's castle in the backdrop. Remember I told you that the castle in the last video is a purpose to life. When you make it to the magical world, to that center town, in the backdrop is God's castle. So to make it to the magical world, so in the magical world, there are 3 enchantments that are set up. There is, firstly, illusion. Secondly, concealment. Thirdly, protection. Right? In that specific order. And in order for them to take it down, you have to get the coven witches to take down the enchantments. The coven witches are like almost like the protective gods over the magical world. So you basically have to use this honeybee sign to begin to get them to take it down, or at least a layer of it down, so that you can start to make your way into the magical world. And basically, you hold up the honeybee sign, you go out in public to a random person, right? Could even be your family. You go out, and you hold up the sign. Let's say you had a 4, right? Mom, I'm making a video. Let's say you had a 4. Let's say you had a 4. You have a 4, and you painted the 4 yellow, and you had the background black, right? And you had the background black. What you do, you go out and you'd ask people, you'd go, what color is the 4? And you see it as yellow, but if what you're trying to do works, they'll say the 4 is black, but you see it as yellow. And I don't know if I can tell you the details to that, but because I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do, but the 4 would look black to them and yellow to you. And once you get that done, then you go, okay, you go, thank you, and then you walk away from them. And what you do is, I just did that recently, and it worked. And basically, what you do is, you go home and you take 3 substances connected to the 3 enchantments, which is illusion, concealment, protection. And what those things are is a worm, like an earthworm, a red Navillo, what I believe they call it, but it's really a type of flower called a Spanish lavender. And then there is and then there is a chicken's foot. And basically what you do is you take these substances and you use them to start to make your way into the magical world. So you need to do two things. You need to call on your coven. Every being in nature has connected to them a coven, almost like how you're born with a family. Every being in the world is born with a coven that they don't know, somewhere out there in the world, or somewhere out there. But you just haven't found them yet. In order to find the coven, you have to do 3 things. These symbols might be backwards to you, so actually, let me see if it is. Let me write star. How does this look? Yeah, it's backwards. Okay, so whatever I write here, you have to flip it in the mirror. So there's 3 symbols that you need to picture in your mind. There's a series of symbols. Three symbols. Right? And we're going this one first, this one second, this one third. First, second, third. And basically, what you need to do is you need to do this thing called Royal Eye. And Royal Eye is, everyone might not be gifted in being able to do it. What it basically is you have to be able to blur your vision at will. Very few people might be able to do it. But what you do is if you can't blur your vision, just cross your eyes. Because that's kind of triangular as well. Because the path of your eyesight is a triangle when you cross them, right? So, and Royal Eye is connected to a triangle. So, so what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to just look at an empty space in front of you. This is how you call your coven. You look at a space in front of you, right? This is going to be used for eternity, this method. What you do is you look at an empty space, right, in front of you, like I'm doing right now. I'll do it for you right now. You look at an empty space, right? Then you think of the first series that I told you, the order, the first symbol. And you go, you Royal Eye, looking at the empty space, and you put that symbol in your mind. Right? Stop. Keep looking at that space. Move on to the next symbol. Royal Eye again. Think of that symbol now. Stop, Royal Eye. Look at that space again. Then you Royal Eye again. And think of the last symbol in your mind. You have to picture it. And then stop, Royal Eye. And that concludes it. Okay, so that's how you call your coven. You have to flip. I think the only symbols that need to be flipped really is this one. You have to put it in a mirror. What does it look like in a mirror? You have to flip it. Like Leonardo da Vinci. We'll get into past lives and all that stuff, who I believe I was in a past life. So that is how you call on your coven, right? And concurrently, while you're doing that, you need to use the 3 substances, which is you get a worm, right? Preferably probably like a dried worm. A Spanish lavender or red lavender extract, and a chicken's foot. And basically you take those 3 things, and these things are going to, what you do is, okay, so you need a wand, but really it's not a wand, because you could use a wand, but like, to me personally, in my intellectual journey, I think you just need wood, because the secret to magic is that in order to really cast a spell, you need to take wood and activate it like I taught you in the Holy Grails. You need to take wood, which is an opaque solid. You take the wood in a dark room, reflected light, and you flash it on it. And that activates it. And the only way that you can say a spell, that your words or your rhyme is going to do anything magical, and you have to know what those words actually do. You can't just say a spell and then it just does something. You have to know a spell and know what it actually does, like in the book of nature and magic in nature, the actual truth about that spell. You have to know what that spell does. And when you do, you can say it to the wood. Just hold the wood, and the wood is piezoelectric. It transforms sound waves into electric field waves. So if you just speak it into not taking anything away from magic though, magical energies, magical photons, or anything like that. But when you look into, when you speak it to the wood, it's going to do something if you know the spell. It's going to be an actual spell. Spells don't work just by, no offense to Harry Potter, I love, J.K. Rowling and everything. But if you waving a wand there is a substance that might help with that, but like, it's really about the wood, a spell. So you have to speak it into the wood, and the wood is going to give off the magic energy that is going to do what you want it to do. If I remembered a spell, I would do a spell right here for you, but I don't have a spell. And I also don't, well, this wood, this is a piano, so like I could speak it technically to the piano, but like, okay, I don't remember a spell. Oh, I do know a spell. So like, I could do a spell for you now. So like, so you could, I'm looking at this bench, so I'm gonna say the spell that I believe lifts veils, which I think it actually is the spell for this, but it's a thing from the movie The Da Vinci Code. So I'm gonna say it to you, see if I can remember it. I'm gonna say it to the wood, because that's what you're supposed to do. I've touched this wood. I've learned that what I touch naturally gets activated, so it's just a part of my soul. So this wood is touched, and we'll just touch it, okay. So look at it and say, so this is my spell. The Holy Grail, 'neath ancient roslyn, waits, the blade and chalice guarding o'er her gates. Adorned in master's loving art she lies, she rests at last beneath the starry skies. So I just did something there. Very low form, but form of matter. Remember I taught you about forms of matter. That's a very low form of matter, so I don't know how strong that's going to be. But, it's just how it is right now, for me at least. So let's see, so, why did I talk about that? So like wood. Okay, so you need wood, and you need Imagine crystal. Now, what is it about Imagine crystal now? Okay, so Imagine crystal is I use a clear quartz crystal. And basically what you do is you take this clear quartz crystal and you have to activate it, right? How I taught you in the last video. You activate it, and then you set it up on a counter and you look at it, right? And you royal eye, right? And if you can't blur your vision, you have to cross your eyes. It's not funny, just cross your eyes. And when you cross your eyes, you have to say to the crystal, you have to ask it a question. It's a guide, it's a natural guide. And for this specific purpose, it's going to guide you in magic. It's going to teach you stuff about magic, right? How I do it in a very advanced way. I can look at the crystal, blur my vision, and ask it a question, and I can look around it, and in the energy, it paints a picture. A symbol, and I take that symbol and I start thinking upon that symbol. And I figure things out. But, you might not get it all like that, so you might just have to you might not even get the blurred vision, just cross your eyes, just look at it, and ask it a question, like ask it, you can just simply ask it, in the field of magic, what is my next step? And then stop royal eyeing and just start thinking. Maybe a symbol will come to your mind. Maybe you'll think of like the strawberry at the grocery store, or maybe you'll think of, you know, the trees outside, or, you know, think of something, and maybe you'll think of something physical if you're a physicist. Maybe you'll think of like a quartz crystal and how it's piezoelectric, and you're like, you know, wood's piezoelectric too, and like okay, so this is how you do spells, and you know, whatever it is. But you'll think of something, and you'll slowly figure it out with time. Just try to actually think. And you have to do a special kind of thinking. You have to think out loud. You can't just think in your head quietly. You have to, you know, sit there or walk around. It's best if you walk around, just pace around, just talk to yourself. And slowly that crystal will look at you, and it's an actual being. It will guide you like, okay, I'll try to get this person to this truth slowly, or fast. However he's set up, however I can do it, I'll do it for him. But whatever you asked him or her, the crystal, the next step will actually happen for you. In your mind, you'll figure it out. It might be something that needs to happen. It might be something that you need to know. But it will happen, and you just got to have the discipline. Keep going back to the crystal. Crystal, what is the next step in magic? And it'll give you something else, and you keep going through thinking, and something else will happen. Okay, so that's what Imagine crystal is. Mom, I'm making a video.
Can you turn down the volume, please?
So so that's what it is. You have your wood, and you have Imagine crystal, which is me as a quartz crystal, and just like I have a wood statue in my room I use. So anyways, why is this important? Because the red lavender extract, you have to activate your wood and your magic crystal with the red lavender. So you take a drop of the red lavender, where you have to activate the red lavender. Remember the Holy Grail, so it's going to be red and clear. So you have to wiggle it and put it in flashed in radiated light. And that's activated. Now you take a drop of it and you drop it. You drop it on the wood that you're using, you drop it on the magic crystal that you're using, and that activates it so that it can be used to now move into this magical world. And then the chicken's foot is used to find a place to go so that you can I don't know what it is. It's the chicken's foot is used to find a place, and then the worm is used to make that place, to bring down the illusion in that place. Right? So like, I really don't know what to do next after that. I just know the chicken's foot to find it, the place. The worm is to bring up the illusion in that place. And that's all I've got. And then I know how to find your coven, and that's where I am thus far in my journey. So anyways, and then there's, well, for me there's 3 levels to rising through the magical world. But you want to find the world of like Harry Potter, right? So that's going to be my my first level. And so that's where I'm going towards. I'll tell you about in later videos how that actually works and all that stuff. But anyways, this is going to help you get into the magical world, and once you get to the magical world, you'll find the creator's castle in the backdrop. And when you go to the castle's door, there's a way that you need to open it. And how you do it is you take an activated leaf, right? An activated quartz crystal, and you put the leaf behind.
Cleveland, can you turn down the volume, please?
Behind, you take the leaf, wait, what was it? It was 3, 4, 5.
He's taking out the almond.
Okay, so you take a leaf and you take a quartz crystal and you take your thumb and you place it on the door, but you have to activate the quartz crystal in the leaf. You take it, you place it on the door, you go to the top of the breath, right? And you have this symbol in your mind. You go to the top of your breath with that symbol. You see it? 6 circles around a circle. You go to the top of your breath with that symbol in your mind. And then go to the top of the breath with your thumb and the crystal and the leaf, all in that order. Leaf, crystal, thumb behind the crystal. It's pressed to the door. And you go to the top of your breath with that symbol I just showed you. Go to the top of the breath, hold 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe out through your arms, into your thumb, and into the crystal, into the leaf, into the door. And that is going to open the door. So this is all I know. This is everything. So thank you for listening. As I learn more, I will post more. So I hope you have a good day, and as I say in my family, and hopefully I'll try to close this way. In every video I might forget it, but I say another day in nature, another chance. See you later. Bye.